Hello and good morning, everybody. This is Tashika with the Historic Westside Revitalization. We actually had a video that we tried putting up earlier this week, and we realized that that was not the best presentation that we could have done. So we're going to redo it again today, and then add a couple of slides onto it. So today is September the 18th. It is now 10:06, and this is Historic Westside Revitalization. So over the past week, we had a couple of different developments that happened. We had a meeting for SNCC, which is the Southern Nevada Enterprise Community Board. They actually are supposed to be overseeing a lot of the development that's supposed to be coming into the historic West Side, as well as attending like some events that are going to be held throughout the community. So those are going to be like the Historic Preservation Society, and then to be able to touch base on a like event that is going to be happening this week, and then some that are going to be happening later on in the month. So we wanted to be able to start, so we have fantastic visuals for you guys to be able to view today. We expanded on the ones that were previously available for you to be able to see, but we wanted for you guys, anyone who is actually tuning in, to kind of be able to take true advantage of what we are actually trying to get accomplished. So we're going to start with not community news. So we're going to start with the community news. So 2 weeks ago, we actually had a meeting that was held over at Doolittle Center inside of the community center where it looks like we see our city of Las Vegas actually trying to reach out on a multi-generational basis to be able to get access and input. Again, we had a lot of people who were able to show up. So this is a video that we have. We're actually in the process of trying to figure out how to upload it. I don't know how to get things off of my iPhone into the actual editors, but those are going to be one of the things that we're going to be working on this week. So that's the community meeting that we had that happened on the happened in the West Side. This is supposed to be for the proposed African American Museum. So if you're looking at the 100 plan, this would be the large L-shaped building that they're proposing to go up on Jackson and D Street, which is basically going to be the current site of the Pearson Park. So you've seen us tape before in Pearson Park over at the on the historic West Side, right at the gateway. There's only a couple that actually show people coming in and going out. So from what we saw, this was originally in the 100 plan that was done in 2016, supposed to be the proposed site for something. It was supposed to be the proposed site for the gateway, kind of like Las Vegas sign to welcome people into the historic West Side. They were going to have the marquee from the Moulin Rouge that was going to be there. They were going to actually have like a lot of walkways and breezeways to kind of invite people to traverse the neighborhood and actually get people to kind of like come to this area as a focus. So from what we can see, it doesn't look like we're going ahead with the original 100 plan that was actually had the huge community focus. It sounds like we're actually going to be going with something that's like this, which is the historic African American Museum that's supposed to be going on that site. It's something that we want to make sure that everybody is aware of. So if you receive anything from the planning department saying that they need to rezone a park in this area, please make sure you attend any of those meetings, because that's going to be the first thing that they're going to need to, the city of Las Vegas is going to need to do to actually rezone this from its current designation to a new designation. This is going to be out of the 3 parks that is inside of the historic West Side. This is going to be the second park from what we can see, where it's no longer going to be a park. It's going to be the proposed site for commercial development. So please keep your eyes on your mailboxes. These notices should be dropping in the next couple of weeks to months. So make sure that you keep an eye out. The notices are only required to be posted for 10 days before the actual meeting takes place. So keep an eye out. Make sure that you put a mark on your calendar. As soon as we get any notice, we'll let everybody know so that we can actually attend the community meeting, the public hearing. The public hearing is not going to be the only thing that we want to make sure that we show up for. We're going to want to show up for the public meeting and city council. So if we have the same momentum of, this is what we want, this is the change that we're looking for, awesome. From what we heard at the actual meeting, this is technically only a proposed site. It's not actually laid out in stone. So if you have the ability to check this out, please tune into our station so that we actually can show you. We're going to be breaking this up because we can't load it up into into the full 2 hours worth of video. We're going to be breaking that up and actually post them in 15-minute segments with about a 30-second overlay. So this was pretty interesting. We actually had a lot of different people who were able to come out, and that was for the African American Museum. So that would be the coverage for that item. All right, so we're going to be moving on to business news. So we currently have 2 incentive programs that are happening inside of the city of Las Vegas. This is going to be if you are, these are business incentive programs. There are currently two available if you would like to do a visual improvement. So visual and storefront improvements are going to be consisting of 2 programs. And that's going to be the downtown assistance. That's going to be the downtown assistance program where you can get reimbursement for up to $20,000. We wanted to make sure that at the very least everybody's able to get access to these fundings. As you're going to see, they're going to provide business owners with project coordination assistance and financial aid when undertaking a remodel. So this is for any stores that are currently having existing buildings that would like to actually improve their storefronts. So this is going to include transformations for so we're going to have to these are requirements to satisfy different things that are going to be surrounding buildings, fire and safety, and life safety. So these are going to be to help to bring your buildings up to code. It may not seem like much, but at the very least, if we can actually start getting some of these improvements, it'll actually be start paving the way so that we can actually kind of start lifting up the west side. So this is valid for anybody who's currently in the redevelopment area. And if you're looking here, the redevelopment area is this map right here. So if you're looking at the historic west side, it's going to be right here. So if you want to if you want to pause this so that you can expand your phones and actually look at this. So this is going to, like, all of the areas that are currently colored are actually going to be inside of the west side, inside of here. And these are tracks that have been part of the redevelopment zone since 1986, all the way through 2012. So the next item that we're going to be talking about is the downtown business assistance. This is also going to be for redevelopment projects that are inside of the historic west side. This is also going to be regarding that same plan map that we just showed. So if you are, it's currently limited to reimbursement. So it looks like that this is going to be something where they kind of give money back after you are able to secure some of the fundings. But please reach out to your Senator Dina Neal. She did fight for seeing if we can actually get some grants for businesses in regards to this, because we're seeing that a lot of people who already have a lot of money are getting a pass on being able to have this contribution, where if we actually were able to get the same actual courtesy or grace extended to us, we'd actually be able to bring up a lot of businesses at one time. So please reach out to your Congress, to your state senator. Her name is Dina Neal. We'll actually be covering her a little bit later on this. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so the next thing we're going to be going on, so this is going to be for qualifying improvements within the city of Las Vegas. So this is an application program, so you're going to want to make sure that you actually get the application started before you start doing the work. And that's going to be one of the crucial things that you need to be aware of when dealing with the downtown business assistance, so that you can know what the things that you actually want to be able to include. So this program, the funding is limited and it is on a first come, first served basis. But again, we're actually seeing a lot of people and a lot of organizations and even our government that would really like to be able to see the West Side come up. So if you are interested in getting something started, make sure you reach out to the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment, Economic and Redevelopment Department, and say that you let them know where you're inside of the redevelopment zone, and that you would like to actually take advantage of the grants and business incentives to be able to improve the storefront of your building. So some of the storefronts that the different things you're gonna see, please submit your applications before you start any work, and then we're gonna move into the next program, which is the Visual Improvements Program. This is going to give you a grant, from what we can see, up to $25,000. It is going to be for the actual overall improvement of your parking of your building. All right, here we go. Sorry, messed up a slide. But the different things you'll be able to actually use this grant is for the facade and window repairs and replacement, for new signage, new doors, painting, lighting, extensive cleaning, permanent landscaping, exterior security systems, replacement of awnings, and then parking lot and rear access improvement and renovation. So as we're actually seeing a lot of things happening over in the arts district and the medical district, because they're technically part of the downtown redevelopment plan for 2050, these are part of what they're actually taking advantage of. So if you are a business and you're in the city and you're in the West Side and you happen to fall within the bounded lines of the City of Las Vegas, like your business license is for Las Vegas, these are going to be the types of grants that you'll be able to take advantage of. So if you would like to, we've actually included a QR code, so you can scan this or take a picture of it, whatever. This will actually pull up the redevelopment map so that you will be able to access it right now. We're trying our best to make sure that it's easy as possible for you to be able to get access to this information. So that's part of the reason why we redid our presentation, so that we can include things like the QR codes and places like visuals for the maps. So this is going to be the visual improvement packet. So this is for the second grant program. Please make sure that you use this QR code. It will actually take you to the place inside of the City of Las Vegas where you can access that actual packet with all of the information that you would need for the visual improvement. It's about, I believe, 8 pages. It is quite comprehensive, but at the very least, this will give you direct access to be able to get that information and get yourself started, and then being able to reach out to the proper people to get information on what you need, what you can do. And this is, again, we're trying to see if we can actually move forward. All right. So if you have any information and you would like to contact the City of Las Vegas's our Department of Economic Development, please call this number. We're probably going to have to repost this one in particular because it's actually showing up backwards. But we want for you to be able to look at this information, and it's basically, please call 702-229-6551, or you can email ED, so that would be Edward Dog, info@lasvegasnevada.gov. So this is going to be also where you can email and call to get information about the visual improvements for any places that are going to be falling into the downtown redevelopment zone. And from what we can see, the City of Las Vegas allows for you to do that. I will let you know, currently these are only for commercial properties. These are for storefronts. These are technically not available for residences, but again, we'll cover that a little bit later when we're talking about what was actually discussed for the stink board, which is going to be our next segment. This is Bill. This man. His name is Bill Arndt. He is good. He is the deputy director of the City of Las Vegas's Economic and Urban Development. His phone number is 702-229-6856. So you can actually call him as well and then you can let him know what's going, like let him know that you are inside of the historic Westside redevelopment zone. We have already asked the city of Las Vegas to come down to the west side and actually hold a meeting so that we can all, anyone who would like to be able to participate in this can do so. So if you are a business and you would like to be able to do that, please make sure that you're able to do that. So we will repost the slides. We do see that they're backwards, so the next time we'll make sure that we turn them around and have them so that they're reflected the other way. So again, this is going to be next is going to be the stink board. Sorry, all of our presentation stuff is going to be backwards. The only way that we can change that is if I turn it around. So give me 1 second. Oh, hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So what you're going to see here is going to be, so I'll back this up, see if we can get it backed up. All right, so I'm mostly just going to give like 3 seconds per slide. That way, if you didn't have a chance to read it before, that you'll be able to do so. You should be able to see it properly now. So this is going to be the slides for the downtown business assistance. So this is going to be the 25. This is going to be for the $20,000 assistance for reimbursement. And that's for project coordination and project coordination assistance and financial aid. This one is going to be for undertaking the remodel of an existing building to kind of bring it up to code. The items that will be included that would help for you to satisfy these requirements are going to be for building. They're going to be for building, fire and safety, and life safety codes. So that's again to bring your building up to code from the downtown program. And then we're going to move into the redevelopment map again so that you can actually see what it is. So this is going to be the city of Las Vegas. So this is going to be the city of Las Vegas. This is actually the boundaries of the historic West Side. And then as you're seeing these different codes that are all throughout, these are actually targeted areas for redevelopment inside of the city of Las Vegas. And as you see, if we're coming up to Martin Luther King, it looks like they include most of Ahern, all the way up to the Bonanza and some of the what's it called, Rancho. So if you're in any of these colored areas and you have a business and would like to do visual improvements for your exterior, these are going to be the place. This is going to be the map that you're going to use. So we do have the QR code for that you'll see in just a second. Again, and this is for the downtown assisted. Make sure that you know that it is on a first come first served basis. Applications, so the funding is limited. So contact the city of Las Vegas Economic and Urban Development as soon as you can. We know that their fiscal year starts in July, so they should not have had a chance to run through all of the money. They usually will accept applications usually up through October, so that application process will probably be closing soon. So please get your applications in. And then these are the slides for the visual improvement program. And this is for the up to $25,000. And this again is going to be for facades, windows, facades and window repairs and replacements, new signage, new doors, painting, lighting, extensive cleaning, permanent landscaping, exterior security, permanent awning, replacement awnings, parking lot and rear access improvements, and renovations. So So that's going to be for this slide. So we just want to make sure that we get into where we need. This is the actual like QR code to be able to use for the redevelopment map. Please make sure that you're able to get that. We'll give you a second. All right, so we're going to move on to the next one. And that's going to be the visual improvement packet. This is going to be where you would go to get the access to the actual packet that would be available for that. The information is going to be 702-229-6551, and this is you can just email them directly at the edinfo@lasvegasnevada.gov. Bill Arndt is going to be the deputy director of the City of Las Vegas of Economic and Urban Development. So if you would like to see, from what we were told, the City of Las Vegas does actually have a place where we're supposed to be able to access this inside of the historic Westside School. We did have a walkthrough of this facility earlier this year, and I do mean in the first quarter of this year. I believe it was in either February or March. And they let us know that this was going to be open soon. It is now September, and as we see, it is still not open. So please push so that we can actually get access to these, the actual people who are going to be able to get new things started. Right now, this is a perfect way for us to create a new job inside of the City of Las Vegas by being able to get somebody who actually is skilled into this location 100% of the time, so that if anybody wants to be able to get access to the resources that the City of Las Vegas may have, or just some knowledge on how to get these improvements started, please make sure that you contact the City of Las Vegas and say that you need somebody inside of the Westside School to be able to answer the questions for the community of the West Side. So you can call this number, just ring it off the hook until somebody starts showing up. SNCC board is going to be the next thing. This is a meeting that happened on this past Tuesday. So this is going to be for the Southern Nevada Enterprise Community Board, and this is, of course, SNCC. This board actually has a couple of different purposes, but the main purpose of this board is to advise government entities that have members of the board with respect to the projects. So overall, they basically are going to identify projects that may be eligible for federal funding throughout the City of Las Vegas and the county and the redevelopment authorities. They are going to be comprised of a lot of different commissioners, people who are going to be sitting, and these are most of the people who are in seats of power in our community are actually currently sitting on this board. It's also to carry out additional projects. And then the most important thing is that they want to be able to ensure with this board that the needs and opinions of the residents of the community are reflected adequately by each one of the projects that they're actually supposed to be undertaking. So that was a board that met this past Tuesday. We did talk to them to say, hey, we as people who navigate the area didn't even see this actually being posted in a place that we normally would see it post for the advance notice. So they're going to actually try a bit more outreach going forward, so that if you are a person in this actual area, that you'll be able to get access to finding out when that meeting is going to be happening. Because again, these guys are going to be everybody that you know is pretty much on this board eligible. So we wanted to make sure that you know what is technically eligible, and that's this is going to be in order to be eligible for this board. Applicants may need to be residents of the community, and the community consists of the 9 census tracts designed by President William Jefferson Clinton, and this is going all the way back to 1994. So the current people who are sitting on these boards are going to be the people as you see. We have a representative from Clark County. So the vice chair and chair were actually switched in this past meeting. It used to the chairwoman used to be Senator Dita Neal, and the vice chair used to be Commissioner William McCurdy. They did actually have a vote on this at this last meeting to switch that. So now the current chair is going to be Commissioner McCurdy. The vice chair is going to be Senator Dina Neal, and then our other representatives are going to be included from the City of Las Vegas. Councilman Cedric Creer. City of North Las Vegas is going to be Pamela Goins Brown. State Assembly is going to be Danielle Monroe Moreno. Sorry, we have to correct that. The State Congress, we've got Stephen Hortford. We do have Peter Gooseman, and from what we can see, we currently have 2 other vacant spots. These vacant spots actually have to actually have somebody who is inside of who's a community resident. So this is anybody who currently is inside of the city, inside of the redevelopment area in those 9 census tracts can technically apply for the 2 community representative seats. So you don't have to have as many you don't actually have to have the alkaloids and qualifications of state assembly people, because they're already accounted for. But we do need to be able to get people into the vacant slots that are currently out there. From what we can see, there are only 2 slots that are available. We can't even confirm that at this point, but we do know that only 2 applications were seen, and they did open it up until the next meeting, that they'll be accepting applications up to the first day, the day before the next meeting, and that's going to be November the 9th. So again, this is the area for the redevelopment for SNCC. So this is going to be the historic west side inside of this circle, but again, it's quite expansive. So as long as you're inside of one of these blue lines, technically you can actually apply to become a member of this board. All right, and this is going to be the QR code if you would like to apply. It's going to take you directly to the actual place where you can fill out a form. It is, we haven't seen them be able to post it as an interactive so that you can fill it out and send it there. So you can technically will have to complete it, print it out, and then actually mail it in or email it to them this is unfortunately the only thing that we're able to see. It's not an interactive application, which would make it a lot easier for anybody to be able to apply if you just hit submit and it went to the people the powers that be. So we wanted to take our hats off to Senator Dina Neal. She did a fantastic job at this past meeting. So we've seen the representative from the governor's office come out and say that we're missing businesses. We're missing getting new industry into our area because of the fact that we actually aren't focusing on building out infrastructure. And then after that, he was just like, what is actually happening on Jackson and D? So we do know that the actual governor's office is looking at the west side right now. So if you would like to be able to see a change, please go onto the governor's website. He is actually asking for direct community input on how to spend the millions upon millions of dollars that are coming in to the city, to the state, to the county for the redevelopment of our city to kind of diversify what's actually happening. So he would like to know where we can actually spend the money and different ways that we will be able to kind of jumpstart and diversify our economy. So please make sure that you reach out to them, because we know that they are listening and they are actually now reaching out directly to actually kind of corral the cats of the redevelopment areas inside of the city, inside of both cities and the county, to get them all on board on one vision of what is actually needed going forward. So if you're a community or a business, a community member or a business owner, please write into Steven Sisolak. He wants to hear from you. So Dina Neal actually had a great presentation. So after the City of Las Vegas Economic Development had their presentation saying, hey, we got all of these millions of dollars that we've spent inside of the west side, inside of the redevelopment area, and we see that we had 2,000 permits that were issued in the city of Las Vegas. Dina Neal came back with some hard questions, like how many of those permits were actually for new businesses to be issued inside of the west side community. How many of those were issued to people who wanted to be able to do redevelopment of their houses, to be able to improve those infrastructures? How much money is actually coming in to actually incubate new businesses, get them started, and actually help to breathe life into the actual economy of the West Side community? So if you have a chance, I know that one of our other members posted the videos about that on our page. So now we are actually on YouTube, so that you can actually tune in and be able to look at some of those things. We did pull those ones directly from the city's website, but we do have we are working on trying to break down the segments, because it is, again, another 2-hour long video. These are very long meetings that we go to, and trying to get them uploaded. But from what we've seen, Senator Neal